I'd been telling myself for the past 3.5 years that I would never, ever, under any circumstance, return to the campus where I'd gone through so much. Out of self-preservation, it was a sheer impossibility. But then, a couple nights ago, I had a dream that I was back on campus. In the dream, I had been transplanted back to before anything had ever happened. Back when the only thing on my mind was how amazing my classes were, how excited I was to graduate, how beautiful the morning dew looked when the sunlight hit it just right, even though I hated waking up early, and above all, this all-embodying sense of freedom, joy, and purpose that I'd never truly felt before in my life. I spent the next 12 hours deeply pondering whether I should try to visit campus, not with any specific goal in mind, just to be there. A huge part of me was screaming not to do it, but the stubborn side of me, perhaps synonymous with the strong side, wouldn't let the idea go. This morning, I decided it was now or never, so I got in the car and drove to UMass. Against all expectations, against the voice in my head that told me I was making a horrible mistake that could potentially undo years of healing, when I set foot on that campus today, it felt like something inside of me had been set free. By some miracle of God, there was no heaviness, no dissociation, no panic, only pride and joy, exactly the way it felt in my dream on Thursday night and when I first arrived at UMass exactly 4 years ago. I took my time walking through all of my favorite places. The Fine Arts Center, where I'd spent countless hours practicing in room 173, had the best piano lessons with Professor Von Sodel, enjoyed fascinating music history lectures by Professor Knight, learned how to conduct with Dr. Westgate, and rehearsed with my incredible piano quartet. I visited the beautiful lakes surrounded by wildflowers, Harvest Market where I'd had my first meal at UMass 4 years ago, and even the gigantic merch store where today I picked up a shirt for myself and a bag for Lucy covered in what I thought were rats but were actually opossums. Luckily, she didn't mind. Today, I was finally home again. I was at the UMass I knew before the darkness descended, the one where I wrote in October 2021, quote, "I've found myself surrounded by so much brilliance, talent, inspiration, generosity, wisdom, passion, and support. It's not every day that you wake up in the same vicinity as the best people you've ever met with the opportunity to learn everything you could ever want to learn. All I can do is relish every single part of this experience and embrace my growing certainty that my winding journey has brought me here for a reason." Unquote. And then tonight I returned to my other home, my real home, where I get to see my best friend every single day and cook together and make fun of each other's silly quirks and support each other through thick and thin. If I do decide to finish my degree, which as I mentioned would be on top of work, I don't know how it would work logistically or what the timeline would be. But at least I know I can do it if I want. My own mentality won't be the barrier. I think it can be summed up in this realization I had in the car as I drove home today. I think what I realized is that I refuse to live the rest of my life wondering what could have been if I had just been a little braver or believed in myself a little more. I want to see what I can do, you know?